26-year-old Ukrainian member of parliament Yurash loses his girlfriend in the Russian shelling. Speaking exclusively to India today, he's now narrating his heartbreaking ordeal and what's been happening to many civilians like him in Ukraine 22 days on. Listen in to this.
Yurash, we know that a young journalist was killed, someone who was very close to you. We'd like to hear what happened from you, please.
As every single day in my country, Russians are killing numerous people, numerous family members, relatives, dear ones, close ones. I was just sharing my drama that I have to face for the last couple of days. But the reality is it's already in their tens of thousands that Ukrainians are dying. It's already in their millions. They have to flee and uproot their lives, and it's in the millions who are fighting everywhere against Russian invaders. The reality is that my drama is just one of many, and I was just in the border town, in the town on the supply routes, the western border of Ukraine, and I saw some of those stories of people that were completely out of the conflict and who were crushed and destroyed. And these stories are numerous all over my country these days. And unfortunately, my story that I was trying to tell the world doesn't tell the full narrative of the drama faced by my people right now.
You know, Yurash, we know that this war is a lot more personal to you. You've lost your loved one, and we see pictures here on our screens of Alexandra, and it really leaves our heart broken. You've put out a really heart-wrenching tweet as well, and in that you very clearly say that you will not forget, you will not forgive, and if anything, it would only be that death did you apart. And here with the loss of Alexandra, I don't know if you have anything to say. How would you remember her today?
She was full of life, full of ambition. She was doing many things and trying to create initiatives, plenty, that changed Ukraine and will change Ukraine still. Our job is to make her live in those initiatives, in those efforts, in those ambitions, in those projects, and to continue that work in one way or the other, so she can have a chance to fulfill some of those dreams that she shared with people around, with me. And the point is here to let all these Ukrainians who died fighting for our independent country or building an independent country, living in an independent country, to keep that independent country in the memory of them.
Yurash, I can really feel the pain in your voice. I can see the pain in your eyes. You seem very disturbed, and we are disturbed with this kind of the humanitarian crisis that unfold. And you've lost a loved one, Alexandra, your girlfriend. You've been together for a decade. Could you narrate to us, please, on how was she killed? How did she come under fire?
She was not my girlfriend. She was so very much more. For a decade, we've went through different, basically seeing the world through each other's eyes in a way that's incompatible. She was killed by the Russian artillery fire that killed her and a journalist who's also a friend to me and who spent we worked with him for many years, with a journalist as well. And the point is that as far as journalists being killed in Ukraine, that's an occurrence that's happening almost every day now. Russians are targeting everyone and killing and destroying lives. And basically the point of the story of Alexandra is she, from what we understand, she didn't have a chance there. There was direct artillery hit on the car that she was in. So the point is that that's the way that Russians killed her.
You know, it really shakes us to even imagine what may have happened. Many of them on their job, while they do their job, while they stand for their country, have come under fire by the Russian forces. This is really heartbreaking, and these images there show such a lovely, beautiful Alexandra. Yurash, your memories with Alexandra today, if you think back.
Again, she had plenty of dreams, ambitions. She was just visiting just before the war, she was going to those countries in Europe where she was trying to see the life as it should be in Ukraine. She was building those projects, initiatives. She was working on music festivals that she organized. She worked with film production crews making films in Ukraine. And the point here is not just to remember, point is to continue, point is to build, point is to fulfill the dreams that are shared by so many in my country that have lost the chance to realize those dreams.
You know, Yurash, while I read your tweet here again, it says only death could have done us apart. You say decade of happiness and sadness. And also in that same tweet, you've also written, you shall never be forgotten, they shall never be forgiven. What do you mean when you say that?
I mean that the Russians who have killed her, it is something that Ukraine and the world should not forget. But the fact of the matter remains that Russians are causing such horror all across my country every single day. And there are Alexandras in their thousands already. What's happening in Mariupol, for example, what you've discussed as well, is already more than 20,000 dead. At least that's all we can count. And that's just not just in Mariupol or Kiev. That's all across a 1,000-kilometer border with Russia, where they are killing, where they're destroying. And we will never be able to forget the lives that were led by these people who dreamed of a brighter future. And the Russians who have chosen to kill instead of doing the right thing and leaving us to make our choice for the future, will have their moment of justice in that future, which is ever just to all those who do this horrible crime against humanity, not just in case of Alexandra, but in case of my whole country, leading into that battle which will decide our future.
You know, Yurash, we know that after the death of Alexandra, this is certainly has hit you hard. Your heart that was once full of love is now filled with hate. At least that's what I understand from the tweet that you've written, that you now learn to hate. Is there something that you vouch today post Alexandra's death?
I already compiled a list of the military battalions the Russians had near the place where she was killed, and that could have fired that artillery piece which killed Alexandra, as well as many others, including my journalist friend and others who were in the area at that point. And we will do everything to bring them to justice in every way imaginable. But again, how can I not hate those who are attacking my country, killing my people, day in, day out, in all different places? And there are many thousands of Alexandras already all over my country who have done nothing wrong, who have lived their lives and who have perished in this fight for our country's future. So the point is not just about the story of Alexandra, not just about that, not those perpetrators, but about the whole of the Russian state, which has done here that which will go down in history with the infamy and hate of the future generations, who will never forget, will never forgive. And here I stress to India, that has a treaty with Russia of friendship and partnership, to think of all these thousands of Alexandras the Russians are killing every day. Think of all the horror Russia's causing, not just in my country, but all over the world. Look at that nation which is destroying international world order in their policies for 2 decades of Mr. Putin's rule, and reconsider. Because it's not just about Ukraine, it's about the world being peaceful, or the world going to the madness of war that we hoped to leave behind.
You know, Yurash, we are looking at several civilians who fled the country. There seems to be some resistance. Certainly, we laud your spirit and courage. Civilians there putting up stiff resistance. But when it hits your own, when your home is struck at, when someone you love you lose, does it demoralize you, or has it really emboldened you further to fight for your country and stand by it in this hour?
initially the motivation for Ukrainians was the fight for our independence and the fact that this is our generation's battle for the future. Now almost everyone has that story, which is heart-wrenching to no end to them, and they will fight. They will fight to avenge all those who perished. They will fight to destroy all those who destroyed. And I am but one of millions, and we will battle on, because what choice do we have? We love this nation, and we love all those that we lost.
Anything that you remember of Alexandra saying to you towards the end? She was working even while the attack happened. She was on the job, and we know she must have been as spirited as you sound while you speak. You yourself are an MP. You've been fighting for your country. Anything that you want to leave behind as a statement or as a messenger of what Alexandra may have said to you today?
She was defiant to stay until the very end in Kiev and to do her duty as a journalist, as a Ukrainian in Ukraine, and she was committed to that. She was very, very clear that this is time, this is the moment where she is needed, and she made that choice to stay in Ukraine and tell the story to the world through that channel that she worked with. She will remain that voice which will be speaking to the world every single day from now on, because that voice is exemplary of Ukrainians who defied all odds, who defied the threats, dangers, the battles, destruction, and stayed in their country to fight the fight for the future and to tell the world about what is happening here.
You know, Yurash, while we've lost Alexandra, you've lost Alexandra, we know that the spirit continues to stay on in you. You are an MP yourself. Do you plan on intent to get to the field, get to the streets? We know civilians have now doubled up as soldiers in Ukraine, only to stand for their country and really empower your country at this moment. Do you have plans on those lines at all?
From day one, every single MP in Ukraine could receive a weapon and join the fight because the battle was happening right here in Kiev, the capital of our country. On day one, I joined in one way or the others and have been expanding and trying to do all I can to do. I am no soldier. I'm rudimentary soldier at best, and trying to learn those skills with people who lived through much, much worse than I can ever imagine to live through. Basically, as far as the future and what it holds for us, this is the fight for everyone. And members of parliament like myself are taking up weapons, are taking up arms, are fighting back, because we are a part of this nation. And we are a part of that nation which is fighting for its very survival right now. And our job right now is to be here, stay with our people, support in every way we can. And that is something we will do, and it's something I have done for every one of those days that passed since the war began.
You know, Yurash, finally, as an MP, as the state's administration yourself, after losing the love of your life, after losing Alexandra, would you still appeal to people to stay back? What would you say to those citizens who are really terrified over this war?
We are hoping those humanitarian corridors will be respected by Russia. They have been shelled time and time and time again. And those civilians, women, children, elderly, we are trying to provide them security. And I'm thankful to the world that is receiving our millions of refugees and giving them shelter, giving them support in the different regards. My ancestors didn't have that opportunity when they faced the Second World War, the First World War, the Holocaust, Stalin's collectivization, Holodomor, genocide by hunger. Now we have the world that's with us and the world that will support us in different means. The point is that those who are staying behind are heroes, because these people are committing their lives to the battle for the future of our country, the battle which will be in history forever, and battle which we cannot lose.
You know, Yurash, as I let you go here, we know that this war will come to an end in just a few days, but people whose lives have lost, you're never going to get them back. Alexandra, the love of your life is gone. Her memory remains. And even as the two countries may solve the situation, at least bilaterally, they might come to a conclusion. The war will end. But the kind of casualties that this has resulted in, is there a resolve or a resolution that you would hold here today amid this kind of large-scale devastation?
We always ask for one thing, that Russia gets out of our country, leaves us alone to choose our own future as we want to choose it. We ask that, and we ask the world to support us in that very simple request, to give us our country and let us choose what that country follows, what that country needs and wants and will pursue. Now, with all that we have lost, I'm not sure that peace you speak of is possible. I'm not sure that Putin will step back after he knows what he has done, after his bloody place in history, and after he's far from being done with our country, that he has done everything to destroy, and we are doing everything to defy him. So I'm not sure that peace that you speak of is on the horizon. Russia doesn't want it. It kills every single day. You can watch the images yourself. Every single day, people in my country, Alexandra's of my country. And the point is that after seeing that, peace seems an impossibility. Victory, though, seems a reality.